Welcome back to another video. So I'm a Spurs fan, Dean, and we're going to be reviewing this season 2019-2020. Tottenham are currently in 8th place in the Premier League. We have won 11, we have lost 10, we have drawn 8, and Tottenham have 41 points. Dean, describe Tottenham's season so far for you. We've played 29 Premier League games. We went out of the League Cup to Colchester on penalties. We went out to Norwich City at home on penalties in the FA Cup, and then of course recently went out of the Champions League to RB Leipzig.
Yeah, the stats don't lie. It's been mediocre at best. After last season and the highs of the Champions League, which I still believe paved over quite a few cracks, we'd expected a lot more. But it seemed that we sort of hit that peak and then just rapidly descended. Obviously Poch went. We bought in Jose, and we kind of like turned a corner a little bit, and then all of a sudden it went flat again. It just makes no sense.
Well, let's just talk about where Tottenham are in the league right now. We're 8th in the Premier League. Yeah. Now, Manchester United... Oh, sorry, let me start with Chelsea. Chelsea are in the top 4. We're 7 points away from the top 4. Yeah. Manchester United are in 5th with 45 points. We're 4 points away from Manchester United. Obviously, we were meant to play Manchester United on Sunday, but they got cancelled. Wolves, 6th with 43 points, Sheffield United 7th with 43 points, and then we've got Arsenal, Burnley and Crystal Palace right behind us, only 1 or 2 points away. Where realistically do you see Tottenham finishing this season if the Premier League last 9 games for Spurs do go ahead and we complete this season? Where realistically do you see Tottenham finishing?
If the virus outbreak hadn't hit us, I think we would have finished where we are, 8th. I think that's where we'd have finished because there was no goals in the side. But because of what's happened, the time that we're now going to get to have Harry back, to have Sonny back, to have Mr. Sissoko back, to have our injury list, people are now coming back. So we've got half a chance of getting a little bit further up. I don't think we're going to hit 4th. I think when we were talking about Poch, I think it might have been after the Sheffield United game that I said we'd be 7th. And if things had stayed the same, we'd have been 8th, 7th, something like that. So I've got a chance. It's not impossible to catch up with not 4th place, but
every single time this season, when Tottenham have had the opportunity, particularly the Chelsea games, hugely disappointing. It seems that you think, as a Tottenham fan, this season, we've turned a corner, or something's happened. You think, at last, we're going to kickstart our season. Yeah. Something then happens, 1 or 2 games, the players don't perform. It's frustrating. It's been such a frustrating season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Chelsea just before Christmas.
Yeah,
we could have leapfrogged them and spun the points around, and we'd have been in the driving seat then. And then obviously losing Sonny. It just seems like, but the thing around is, nobody has set the world on fire apart from Liverpool. Everybody's dropping points all around us. United dropping points, Chelsea dropping points.
But the same thing happened last year. No one wanted that top 4 place, but we seem to get over that line, get the Champions League place. Let's start right at the very start of the season. Opening day of the season, we played Aston Villa at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, winning 3-1, and Ndombele scored his debut goal. Yeah. It all looked great. It looked like we got the perfect signing. Yeah. And then Manchester City 2-2 draw away after that, and then a real low point. I don't know, it was only the 3rd game of the season. Newcastle at home, losing 1-0. A dreadful, dreadful performance. And that is when you were thinking, what on earth's going on? How would you describe your feelings on that day?
It begged belief because we seem to be playing okay. I mean, you like 2-2 against the champions, and we played all right. But it seemed something had happened. It was really strange that everybody was on there, all the smiles just went. Yeah. There was a totally different atmosphere around the club, around the stadium, and that was obviously when it all started to unravel, I think.
Now, then going into September, we go over to the Emirates Stadium. Tottenham go 2-0 up. It all looks fantastic. The fans were celebrating, going absolutely mad in the away end. We then draw the game 2-2.
Yeah.
Then back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we beat Crystal Palace 4-0.
Yeah.
Good performance, and that is again one of the days in this season's calendar. I just thought that is the day when Tottenham have turned the corner, and this is going to kickstart. Yeah, we're away. Kickstart our season. Olympiacos away. Both of us were there. Yeah. Again, another game where we were 2-0 up, drew 2-2. Then we went to Leicester, lost 2-1. Then we went to Colchester.
That was horrible. That was just a terrible, terrible performance. And I'll never forget it. Dele Alli came on with his gold boots, and obviously the Colchester United fans were taunting him about these Milton Keynes and all. We didn't even look like scoring. We really didn't even look like scoring. And then when it went to penalties, and Christian stepped up, not even close. Not even close. So yeah, it kept sort of unravelling from there.
Do you think that has been a problem where some of the big players, the main players for Tottenham, haven't really stepped up this season?
Yeah, because they're not just main players; they're all internationals.
Yeah.
You know, they're all seasoned internationals.
Yeah.
Christian, he was already on. I said on that day, I said that he was already on a plane. He's already off.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that, which is a shame because he got a lot of flack because of the performance he was putting in. But we bought him for buttons. We really did, and he'd been such a good servant. For him to go away from the club, to be almost vilified and sort of wished on his way, and people saying, "Oh, I'll take his suitcases and put them on the plane myself." You know, he's a brilliant player.
Dean, if I can go back to that Colchester game,
even
more disappointing is the fact that us as Tottenham fans, you know, we love cups. Tottenham are known, or used to be known, for being a cup team and winning cups. 2008 was the last domestic trophy that Tottenham won. That's 12 years ago. Hugely disappointing that we didn't take it a lot more seriously. Having said that, a lot of fans were calling for the likes of Troy Parrott to play. Troy Parrott played in that game, started in that game. It's the only Tottenham start. Was that the right decision for you? Because Pochettino did, you know, at that game have internationals on the bench who we did end up bringing on, but it did seem too late, didn't it?
Yeah, but by the time we brought them on, we should still have enough. We should, again, no disrespect to Colchester United because the way they were set up. But it seems like we're buying these players that are quite slight. So when you go look at people like Colchester United, they've got big bruises, you know, like.
They're up for the fight, yeah.
Yeah, and they sort of push us all over the park. And we was expecting, like, to be given all these free kicks. We was getting nothing because it was shoulder-to-shoulder charge. And against somebody like sort of Mora or who's very slight, against a bigger player, they just bounce all off them. So yeah, that was a strange one, Colchester United, and we should have had that one. But again, we didn't. We don't set up. It's either a mentality thing, like Jose says, or it's a physicality thing.
Well, you're talking just after 2 months of the season, and you had two very low points, the Newcastle and the Colchester game. Shortly after that, 2-1 win at home to Southampton. Hugo Lloris made the mistake, let Danny Ings in. It seemed that a lot of mistakes in the team were happening around this time. Then a dreadful performance, one of the worst, probably the worst I've ever seen us at home, Bayern Munich 7-2, followed by a 3-0 defeat away at Brighton, where you would have expected a complete reaction from some of the players. That Brighton game, and you know, you might notice that I'm just going to bypass the Bayern game because I can't talk about it. The Brighton game 3-0. On Ndombele ended up coming off at half time. He just couldn't run. That is the day when I just thought, what on earth have we bought for £65 million? Many questions on him. Where you want leaders in these games, where you want reactions, and then you've got a player that couldn't run, couldn't be bothered. Hugely disappointing again. I still to this day, can't believe that midway through October you've got 4 low points of the season.
And Ndombele is a weird one. I mean, the amount of people have said he looks overweight, but he's not. He's quite a sort of. He must be physically fit. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was running for 2 minutes, I'd be sort of puffing and breathing. And,
He's never been fit though, Dean, the whole season.
So who went out and scouted him, right?
Even in the summer, Mauricio Pochettino, you know how he works players, their fitness. He purposely doesn't put players in if they're not fit. If he buys a player and a player comes in, he'd rather wait a month or so before they're completely fully fit before they get in the team.
Yeah, so somebody, either the person who's doing the scouting is doing their job wrong. The guy we had before, Paul Mitchell, he now is at RB Leipzig. And they're not doing too badly. And obviously he brought their players in.
Yeah.
So either our scouting's wrong, we can't rely on the academy, you guys. I mean, yeah, everybody's got to start somewhere, but we've seen a lot of youth teams play. And out of that lot, how many would you pick, honestly, to come up into the first team?
Well, most of the youth team, since Jose Mourinho has come in, has now ended up going out permanently or going out on loan. So there's a whole new team for the under 18s and under 23s at the moment.
Yeah, so it's all right saying we're going to have these people coming up through the ranks. We haven't got them.
Yeah.
I don't think we've physically got them people to come up through the ranks. We've seen enough of it. Troy, he's a great goal scorer, knows where the goal is, but obviously, again, Poch didn't put him in, and Jose doesn't want to put him in. He doesn't want it. The thing.
In fairness, that both managers for Tottenham this season have said exactly the same thing. He isn't ready.
No. So when is he going to be ready? And if not, then why are we not buying? And why didn't we go out? Danny Ings.
Yeah.
Danny Ings. He knows where the goal is. Mitrovic. Why not? There's so many players. Llorente. I keep saying it. People don't look at the game he played. His hold-up play was absolutely immense.
But full stop, you cannot let a player like Llorente go and then not replace.
No.
Arguably, Kieran Trippier was our first choice right back. You cannot let a player like that go and not replace. We have let players go. We haven't replaced them. Hugely disappointing. Let's go back into October. After the Bayern Munich defeat, after the Brighton defeat, shipping 10 goals in 2 games in a week. We're back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Watford at home, we drew 1-1. I remember talking to you after the game, hugely disappointing again. That was at the point where a lot of Tottenham fans were saying Pochettino has lost the players, Pochettino this, Pochettino that, Pochettino will have to go. At that stage, I had mixed feelings. Of course, we don't want these results.
No.
But for what Pochettino achieved at the club, not spending any money in 518 days, guiding Tottenham to the last 4 years of Champions League football. Before I ask you about that, let's go on a little bit more. Red Star Belgrade, we then won 5-0. It was expected that we would win. Again, another time where you thought Tottenham are scoring goals. Is this a turning point in our season?
Yeah.
Are we now going to push on? We then go to Liverpool away. We lose 2-1. Now that was the start of the Amazon filming. Amazon started filming within Tottenham's changing rooms, etc., which the Amazon documentary's out in a couple of months' time. How do you, as a Tottenham fan, feel about Amazon filming Tottenham at the moment?
It's all about the money. That's what it is. It's all about the money. Nobody wants to see that. I'd like, if they're going to show it, then show us a waltz and all. Show us the Pochettino flare-ups. Show us the Mourinho flare-ups. Show us some of them meetings, why the wheels have come off of our team. Because we as fans, we don't understand it. We saw our team coming out doing the flicks, the tricks, the smiles, the weird and funny handshakes, all the celebrations, all that sort of stuff. That all went. Everything went. We need to know why that went. I thought Trippier, when he was going to go, he would have come up and said, look, this is the reason I've gone. Danny Rose kind of sort of
Trippier did say that there were problems.
Yeah, and Danny Rose was intimated and said, look, this is, there was something not quite right at the team. But, Danny Rose wanted to wait for quite a long time. I think Trippier got some right bad press. I think he was a decent right back. But again, he was let down by the midfield. The midfield didn't want to come across while he was up the pitch. He then had to leg it all the way back because nobody was covering.
Dean, let's go into the last 3 games under Pochettino, and weirdly, the last 3 games under Poch, we were actually unbeaten.
Yeah.
Everton 1-1 away.
Yeah.
Again, that was another very disappointing game. Gomez with his injury, Heung-min Son was sent off. Disappointing to draw 1-1. There seemed to be very little up front, very little attacking threat. Then we went to Red Star Belgrade away in the Champions League group stage. We won 4-0.
Yeah.
And then back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we got a 1-1 draw against Sheffield United. Now, I remember talking to you after that Sheffield United game.
Yeah.
Now, tell me how you felt after that game.
It was a weird one because, again, I think we played well. I do think we played well, but I think Sheffield United wanted it more. They beat us up all over the park. And that was it. That was the end of Poch. He had to go.
Do you agree with that decision? If it was your choice, would you have sacked Pochettino?
No, because if I was Daniel Levy, I wouldn't have been sacking him. I'd have been backing him, and that was half the problem. He didn't get back in, like you say. You didn't get any money for any players for 500 odd days.
518 days.
Right, 518 days, no money, and everybody's going, "Oh, look what he's doing."
But he still got us to Champions League football and not spent that money. Yes, he spent money in the summer. Arguably, it could have been a lot more. But that time, I will never ever forget the feeling. It was like, honestly, it was like someone died.
Yeah.
When that announcement came up my phone and it said Tottenham Hotspur have sacked Mauricio Pochettino, to get over that news so quickly and then to wake up in the morning, but I didn't get that much sleep anyway. So during the night, there was all this speculation that Jose Mourinho was talking at the club and he was just about to sign for Tottenham, and I thought to myself, surely that cannot happen. And then when you wake up in the morning and Jose Mourinho is there holding up the Tottenham shirt, how did you feel when you saw that?
I mean that's been going on behind the scenes for a long time. So again, if anybody's got rumblings that somebody's going to come in and take your job, you're not going to, your eye's not going to be on the ball all the time.
Yeah.
And he changed his stance, didn't he? He said, "I'm not the manager, I'm the head coach."
That happened at the Audi Cup.
Yeah. So straight away, there was something wrong there, and you can see he wasn't the same bloke. He was not the same man. When I see Tony Jimenez come over and sort of doing the training, his smiles were gone. So I think the writing was already on the wall then.
Do you think it was about that Pochettino wanted players and the board didn't go out and get them? Because even in a report yesterday by the Daily Mail, apparently in 2016, Pochettino said to Daniel Levy that he wanted Wijnaldum and Mane, and they both ended up going to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Now, if Tottenham were to have got those sorts of players in, he would probably still be here now, wouldn't he?
Oh, of course he would. But it's a lot of ifs and buts.
Of course.
The thing about it is, he wasn't backed.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense that you've got the best training facilities in Europe, possibly the world. You've got one of the best stadiums in Europe, possibly the world. I mean, I asked, obviously I get the train home and I'm standing with opposition fans, and they said, the stadium is absolutely brilliant. Even Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Said, you know, it's a beautiful, beautiful stadium. But the football played in it at the moment.
Like Pochettino said, Dean, if you're going to have a mansion, you need the furniture to go in it.
Exactly right. And somebody else, I've seen it on one of the tweets, it's like having a Ferrari with like a little sort of, with no engine.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Right, let's get on. On the 23rd of November, we played West Ham United at the Olympic Stadium. We hadn't won a Premier League game away for 10 months.
Yeah.
We won the game 3-2 under Jose Mourinho. Mixed feelings again, because of course Tottenham fans want to win. They want to win games. Mourinho comes straight in. Not only did he win that game, first win in the Premier League for 10 months, we then beat Olympiacos 4-2. After about 28, 29 minutes, it seemed to not be going Tottenham's way. Mourinho made a tactical decision, brought Dyer off. That is when Tottenham fans were getting excited and saying, at last we've got a manager who is tactical, very tactically aware, winning us games, getting us over the line. The next game, Bournemouth at home, he won the game 3-2.
Yeah.
Couple of mistakes for our goals, but Mourinho come in, won 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
How are you feeling then?
Well, again, I've said it many times, I'm not a Jose fan, never have been.
But surely after those 3 games, you were getting excited, thinking.
Yeah, because obviously so many people have said it. He's a serial winner. He knows how to win trophies. He knows how to win games. He knows how to shut these games up. So then you thought, okay, right, we've lost Poch, and then sort of wanting to be loving Jose was almost like cheating someone. But and that's how it felt. But you've got to do what you've got to do, and he done what he did. He showed that he wasn't scared of making these decisions by not pulling Dyer off. And he was a big fan of Dyer because he wanted to take him to United. So things that I thought were on the up.
Yeah.
However,
next game, Manchester United, of course, Mourinho's former club. We lost 2-1.
Yeah.
Hugely disappointing. Didn't seem like much fight or desire in that game. Then we returned to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and this was yet another point where I thought this is going to kickstart our season, and we are off yet again. I felt like that again. 5-0, beating Burnley, and then we went away to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. It was a nothing game really. Mourinho was trying out a lot of the players that hadn't really played under him, or even Pochettino this season. We lost the game 3-1. Then we went over to Molineux, winning the game 2-1, Jan Vertonghen in the dying seconds. And again, Dean, I hate to say it, but that was yet another time where I thought, right, we're off again.
Yeah. The Bayern one is the one that confused me. Again, freezing cold, we was out there.
Yeah.
He brought play him. It was a nothing game. It meant nothing to both teams. It was so play Troy. You blood him.
Yeah.
Let's see what this kid can do. Everybody's clamouring for his name. Everybody wants him to go and play. And when we were sitting in the stadium, behind us was all the youth team. So they could have looked at it and gone, right, that could be me. If I pull my naked, that could be me. If I sort of just get hold of the opportunity I've got, that would be me. But he didn't play him.
Yeah.
It made no sense. And a nothing game.
The next game, Chelsea at home.
Yeah.
Losing 2-0. Again, another former club of Jose Mourinho. There was high expectations, certainly for me anyway. A lot of Tottenham fans thinking Chelsea at home, this is when you're going to see the grit, the determination, the passion.
Yeah.
You want to see the passion in these games from a Tottenham player, because when you're playing the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, those are the games that you really want to see how much the players want it.
But the two I was looking at was the United game and the Chelsea game. It made no sense that he was the ex-manager.
Yeah.
He wanted to say, you got rid of me. Look at what I can do.
Prove a point, yeah.
Look what
Absolutely.
look at this stadium. Look at what my players can do, and we're going to smash it for fun. No, there was no fight in that team at all.
But even at this stage, Mourinho has been asked in press conferences about signings in the January transfer window. He was playing it all down, saying, well, we don't need that many signings. We don't need players coming in. I'm working with the players that I've got.
Yeah.
So, really, he seemed to be very happy at this stage with our squad.
Yeah, because he was one of these people that were vocal, saying, look at Tottenham's squad, look what Tottenham can do. He was constantly bigging us up. So I could see why he came in there. Early stages, he was the humble one, the smiling one. I'm so pleased, I've learnt a lot since I've been out, I've missed the Premier League.
Yeah.
It was like no time before he came to that grumpy one, I want to sort of pick up someone.
Then straight after that, Boxing Day, Brighton at home, we got the win 2-1. A couple of days later at Carrow Road, we got a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
Then, January the 1st, Southampton away, hugely disappointing yet again, losing 1-0. Not only that, Moussa Sissoko and Harry Kane, that was where Harry Kane got his injury, and has remained sidelined since. FA Cup away after that, Middlesbrough 1-1. I don't really know how to describe that game. It was, it wasn't that great again, was it?
No. It's not so much that obviously the results are really, really disappointing, but it's the performances. It's the performances you're putting in. As a fan, we've said this so many times that club is our club. It's our one and only club. It was my club. It was my dad's club, my granddad's club, and I don't know much before him. But yeah, it's always been our club.
Yeah.
And we wear the badge with pride. You got your Spurs thing on, I've got mine on.
Yeah.
You want to see that from the players, but we know for a fact that some of these are bought in as...
Yeah, you're totally right. When you feel so proud and passionate to support your club, and wear the clothes and you know all of those things, you want to see that from the players as well. And some games when you don't see the passion that perhaps we show,
especially in derbies,
it's hugely frustrating. Now let's go on to the next home game in the Premier League. It was Liverpool. A huge shock when the team lineup came out. Tanganga was in the starting lineup. 67% possession for Liverpool on that day.
Yeah. And again, we know he likes to park the bus or whatever you want to call it, playing out from defence.
We had a couple of chances in that game.
We did. I mean, it could have easily ended like in a draw and even a sneaky win. But everybody went there, and it shouldn't be there. I mean, you don't go out knowing that you're going to get beat, right? But the way Liverpool were playing, we thought that if we could keep it down to 0-0 or you know, sneak a draw, we'd be happy with. That's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. We should be out there, and the players should give us that confidence, going, we're going to go and we're going to attack and we're going to do this.
Do you think it was after that game where I know that it's a very mixed opinion about Jose Mourinho and his management style now? Do you think that was the game where people started to have mixed opinions on him?
Yeah, because we see him as this. We've seen him win like premierships. We've seen him win Champions Leagues. We've seen him win all these cups.
Yeah.
So why? Why is he not doing it at Spurs when he was constantly spouting up that Spurs?
But he has only been here for 4 months. That's what a lot of people will be saying.
Yeah, I know he has. But the thing is, it's easy when you've got a massive checkbook to go out and go, right, okay, I need to do this to change it, I need this to change it, I need this to change it. When you've got somebody like Chris Wilder and Nuno, haven't got that massive checkbook.
Got to work with players.
Right? But they've got good players, but they've got them playing well.
Yeah.
That's a good manager.
Yeah.
That's not a checkbook manager. That's a manager who knows his players, knows his system. Everybody buys into that system. This is what we're going to do going forward. Okay, if the wheels come off, this is what we're now going to do. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's why they're up there. That's why when you see Wolves playing, I like watching them. I like the way they break forward. I mean, you know, they shouldn't have lost that game. That was a robbery. It really was.
Then straight on from there, Middlesbrough at home in the replay, we won 2-1.
Yep.
And then shortly after that, Watford away in the Premier League 0-0. And can I add that is the only clean sheet away from home since Moussa Dembele left Tottenham.
Yeah. Again,
You miss him?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was brilliant. We saw again on Dembele. He's got flashes of Moussa. He has. But he can't run.
They're completely different.
He's just, I mean, you can see him when he's got the ball at his feet, he can turn and twist players inside out. But when he's done that, he goes, oh, you can see him, he's almost like, give me something. I don't know what he does. I really don't know what he does.
Right, back in the Premier League action again. Norwich at home winning 2-1.
Yep.
And then we played Southampton away in the FA Cup, drawing 1-1.
Yep.
And then back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the Premier League champions, Manchester City, came to town. Steven Bergwijn, we just signed him, made his debut, scored a fantastic goal. How are you feeling after that game? Because again, for me, that was another thought. That was another, another time thinking, this is it. We're off again.
Well, it's a City game. I mean, again, they are and still are, until things happen, champions. Yeah, they still are the champions, right? They play scintillating football, and the players they have got. Yeah. Again. Horrible to say it, another checkbook club, but would you turn around and go, no, we don't want to be that sort of club? What, not win all not win cups, not win trophies, not go on Champions League.
We need trophies. We
Of
really
course,
do.
you're gonna want to take that, have a certain element of that, but they don't get the praise they should have, and us beating them 2-0. They get down to 10 men.
Now, after that, we beat Southampton at home in the replay 3-2.
Yep.
And then Aston Villa away in the Premier League.
Yep.
We beat them 3-2. Heung-min Son got a couple. It seemed in the first minute or so, Heung-min Son had an injury, but he just carried on playing. After that game, again, it was another high point because we'd won away. It seemed a very similar feeling to the Wolves game as well, you know, winning in the dying seconds. And I was feeling good again. And you think, well, you know, if Heung-min Son is playing up front, I know we were without Harry Kane, but when you've got a player like Sonny up front, you know you're always going to get goals.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, that shows what a player Sonny is. And again, I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves like worldwide because he runs his heart out. He does run his heart with a smashed up elbow.
Yeah.
Still played for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Going into tackles on the deck and winning the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what a player, and we do miss him.
But it was after these sorts of games where a lot of Tottenham fans, including myself, are saying, if Tottenham keep on like this, we're going to push for that top four. Because you're right in what you said earlier on in the video. There are so many teams around us in poor form. They're always going to drop points. Chelsea were dropping points. Even Leicester, you know, who are miles ahead of us, they were dropping points. Manchester United and so on. So at that time, you thought that we've got a chance to push on and get that European place.
Oh, without a doubt. But it seems like we don't take the chance of these opportunities.
Yeah.
We don't. They were there. The amount of times we've been in just a point off of not full place, everybody else has dropped points, so we must look at that and go, lads, we've got a chance here. And we go out and we...
Can I just say as well that we're on the 15th of March today, and the last win was the 16th of Feb against Aston Villa. It was a month ago.
Yeah, but like I say, Jose is I don't want to be like one of these Jose bashers, but he's supposed to be this all-knowing manager.
Yeah.
Right, and he's our manager, and we should be grateful for that. But is he being found out that when he needs like players, fringe players, to step up and do their job, he's looking at it going, well, I don't get it. It should work on paper. The amount of times I see him, and it annoys me and it annoys people around me. I mean, I should be a couple of guys, Pete and Ollie, and they're constantly sitting there like, why is he still sitting there? Where you got other managers standing up, like marshalling their teams, like, you need to go here. He's sitting there looking at it and going, why is it not working? It should be working.
Yeah. Well, I feel that I've criticised Jose Mourinho on a number of occasions, as we all do. As Tottenham fans, we're always going to question what the manager's doing and his decisions, but he's only been in there for 4 months. I do think that we need to give him time. I do think that if the board are going to make that drastic decision in getting rid of Pochettino and putting Mourinho in, then he needs to be backed in the summer.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see.
But I see, you know, there's rumblings already that he's not going to get that money.
Well,
it just makes no sense.
I fear for the future of the club if our manager isn't given the money, because I feel that at the moment we are miles away. Defensively and in midfield, I think that there is a huge amount of investment that needs to be put into this squad. Anyway, let's go on. RB Leipzig at home in the Champions League last 16. We lost that 1-1-0. Very little going forward. Mourinho then was saying about the injury problems and you know what problems we've got going forward. You know, there was nothing really there. Chelsea away. Olivier Giroud. There was lots of reports that Tottenham were in for him in January. Olivier Giroud only a couple of days ago has admitted that Tottenham and another European club were in for him. Chelsea put a block on it. He then comes in, hasn't played a game in a long while for Chelsea, comes in for this game. He scores after having, 3 attempts. We didn't clear the ball. Lost that game 2-1. A huge disappointing day for me, because, again, what we've said, Chelsea, when you're playing teams like that, you want to see passion, and I didn't see any passion that day.
No. Again, you look at it, there's no real leaders on the pitch. I don't like having the keeper as captain, and he changed that, didn't he, that game, I think. But yeah, it's just, we're not strong enough in the midfield. We're just not. And people keep going on about Kane and Sonny. Our biggest loss for me is Musa. He's the midfield general. He sees and he takes people with him. So he starts that run. He starts amazing runs. 2 or 3 people run after him. Creates a space.
Very strong as well.
So you've got people like Moura. You've got people like Sonny who can then move into that space that the other players have vacated. So that's why it works. We have to have a decent midfield, like any team, to make it work. You need somebody strong and you need somebody powerful. Harry Winks, I think, is too lightweight. Again, he's got some. When he looks forward, Harry's a good player. But he doesn't. Whether it's the way Jose's got him set up, he does look back a lot. So he's looking for that back path. The amount of times he gives it to Sanchez then chucks it over to Aurier. Aurier then turns around, looks back, gives it to Sanchez gives it to Lloris punches it down pitch. And then because we've only got Moura.
But let me just say, if it was under Pochettino, which a lot of that type of play was happening at the start of the season, it was heavily criticised for the style of play.
Playing it from the back,
But when players play like that under Mourinho, there doesn't seem to be that much criticism.
No, because we're hoping, because he does play, and he started this sort of playing out from defence type thing, that he's got the thing right, but he doesn't. It's not right. It's just boring football. We don't want to see that. We want to see the likes of Bow and Lennon wanging down the outside and putting them crosses in.
When you say not exciting, are you not excited about watching Spurs at the moment?
No, I think it's dull football. It really is dull football. Yes, we'd like to see the wins, but I've said it time and time again. Entertain us. That's what we pay the money for. We pay the money to be entertained. You look at Wolves. You look at Sheffield United. They play exciting, attacking football. You look at Liverpool. As soon as they get the ball, they are looking for money. Just run at them.
But they're miles apart.
Yeah, but they weren't. We would a couple of seasons ago. We smashed them 4-1.
Yeah, but they went out and spent big.
Yeah, but on a couple of decent players. We could have done that, but we didn't do that. Is that ambition? Is it money? What is it? I'd like to know. Again, we're on doing YouTube.
That's a whole new debate.
That is a debate. But I'd like some of the guys that obviously watch this to say, well, this is what I think. This is what I think should happen. Yes, I prefer to have like a 1-0 win and we win and we qualify for all these cups, and I don't care what the football's like. Or I prefer a draw.
Yeah, but you know, when Jose Mourinho was appointed manager, I think lots of people discussed it before. If you're going to get someone like that in as manager, are you going to be playing silky, attractive, Tottenham-style football? I don't believe you are.
No.
He might get us over that line and get us a trophy, but then that brings me on to talk about the last 4 games. Wolves at home, we lost 3-2, hugely disappointing. Norwich at home, we drew 1-1. We scraped a 1-1 draw against bottom of the Premier League side, Norwich, losing 3-2 on penalties. Now, I was in this very pub when the team got announced. I read it out to about 8 people in the pub who I was with. They all thought I was joking when I named that team and said Michel Vorm is in goal. People were laughing, going, no, Chris, tell us properly. Because Jose Mourinho was brought in here only a couple of days before Christmas, at the staff Christmas do. Mourinho and Levy were on the stage, and Daniel Levy said, there's 2 things I want for Christmas. Yeah. One is to finish top 4, and one is a trophy. Yeah. Now, Mourinho surely has been brought here to win Tottenham a trophy, and for his own sake, not having a trophy at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club since 2008, 12 years, the drought, and not having an FA Cup since 1991, 29 years since an FA Cup, since Gary Mabbutt lifted that FA Cup. It's just an unbelievable stat. So Norwich at home, to be putting us in the quarterfinals, and then during extra time it was announced that it was either going to be Manchester United or Derby at home, it would have been a good draw. So you think, why on earth make that decision? And then ultimately, Vorm's mistake, gave them the goal and then ultimately then put us out. Hugely disappointing. So if you're going to make a decision of having Mourinho in and trying to win us a trophy, then why
is he making that decision?
It's crazy.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Michel's still a decent keeper, decent shot stopper, but obviously he's not got any games, so he's had no practice. So why not bring in, saying you know this is important, and go, Gazza, we've got to put you in. You know, I know you might want to break. He's a keeper, right? It's not like he's running like 100-metre sprints all the time. So you put him in. Put Gazza in.
Yeah, I really don't understand that because, of course, Hugo Lloris was out injured. Gazzaniga should have played in that game. You know, why bring Michel Vorm in when he hadn't played a game for 18 months? And the last game he did play was PSV away when Lloris was sent off. Yeah. So he was very rusty. You know, I've got nothing against Michel Vorm. He's been a solid goalkeeper for Swansea, and he's come in and been a good cup goalkeeper for us. But when he's not played a game in all that time, I'm sorry, I don't think that was a good decision.
Well, you don't bring him in. This is our defining season moment. So why bring him in? And if you do bring him in, we've said this before, don't bring on Ndombele. Say to Michel, look, if it goes to pins, if it looks like it's going to go to pins, please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm putting Gazza on because he's better at penalties. So that's what he should have said. He could have done it quite easily. We see one, I can't remember what game it was, where the keeper refused to go off. I remember it was
Chelsea. Chelsea goalkeeper, yeah.
Yeah, he said, I'm not coming off. But at the same time, that's what we should have done, but we didn't do. If buts and maybes, being a Tottenham fan is ridiculous.
What was crazy for me that night is whilst those penalties were going on, number one, why did Ndombele not step up? Our record signing, £65 million. Why did the players like him not step up? Troy Parrott obviously missed a penalty. I felt sorry for him being an 18-year-old kid. I didn't know whether it was the right decision that he should be taking one if he missed, which he did. And then another hugely disappointing thing is when I saw the clip of someone sitting in the West Stand, they videoed Jose Mourinho sitting on his own in the dugout, sitting down, whilst all of the other Tottenham staff, including injured players like Harry Kane, all hand in hand along the touchline there, and he was sat on his own. What on earth's that about?
No, it doesn't make any sense, and that's what I keep saying. It's like he's almost distancing himself from everybody already.
But after 4 months.
Yeah. But we get it all the time. You see it on social media, people saying, told you he was toxic at Chelsea, he was toxic at Man United. Can't be already. It can't be already. Whether he's fed up being told, it's coming with this, so this is what I need. And Levy's gone, not a chance. You ain't getting none of that.
Do you think players like Ndombele have a future under Mourinho at Tottenham?
No. He's already chimped. I think he chucked him under the bus, but at the same time, did he do it to publicly shame him and hopefully that will be the kick up the bum he needs to get going? I don't think so.
Do you know what, Dean? I completely agree with Mourinho's comments.
Yeah.
But I do not think that he should have done that publicly.
Not publicly,
I think that needs to be done with the player.
Yeah, you know, player and his staff saying, look, this is what you need to do. We need to get you into the fitness regime. But he's been there a long time. He was in there, pre-season. So he should be up to speed. If he couldn't run before, why the bleeding hell did we buy him?
Dean, I'm sorry to say, the last 2 games, Burnley away, 1-1.
Yeah.
The first 45 minutes is probably another extremely low point. Fans around me were even booing the players at half-time. That was a dreadful, abysmal first 45 minutes. We got the 1-1 draw in the end. RB Leipzig, the last game, Champions League, losing 3-0. Very, very little going forward yet again.
No, it's how our season sort of tailed off. It's all the confidence is completely gone. Nobody can see where the goals are coming from. But the thing I don't, and I've said it again, I don't want to sort of keep repeating myself. Where I sit, they set up this practice goal, and half an hour before the game kicks off, we are taking shots. Constantly taking shots. You know. Yeah, but in the game, we don't shoot. We don't shoot. And the goalkeeper warm up. Again, when Tony Jimenez was on, I mean, he stung their hands. They was up, down, made them rushing about. Yeah. But before the game, we're rolling.
It's very different.
Oh, yeah. When they're rolling the ball, that's not going to get the keeper warm. It's not going to get them ready.
Do you know,
not going to get the adrenaline flowing.
It's not only that. Not just because of the results. It is a completely different feel, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's
going into the stadium, and it is a completely different feel.
Yeah. How often have you seen Mourinho walk across the pitch and thank the fans?
Yeah, certainly in the away games, I haven't seen that of late.
No, so he doesn't do it. Pochettino, win, lose or draw, used to sort of thank the fans. The players just come off to thank the fans. But now they're just turning around and going down the thing because they're either going to get a kicking from Mourinho, or booed off by the.
Well, let me say this. Jose Mourinho said before the RB Leipzig game away that all of their substitutes would get into the current Tottenham team. How do you feel that the current Tottenham team feel about that? Because if you were playing for Spurs and your manager said all of their subs would get in our team.
Yeah, I think, I don't know where we're trying this reverse psychology and all these other little bits and pieces that he's trying to do, but it's not working. It's not lifting the players. Us as fans should be lifting the players, but if the results are not there, you're not going to get excited. Therefore, you can't.
But where I said earlier on in the video that the fans are mixed. Some people love Jose Mourinho. They think that he's going to be hugely successful at Tottenham and win us trophies and etc. Surely, when he's doing all of these things, it seems that every week, you know, I know the media love Jose Mourinho, but he does open his mouth a lot. Mm-hmm. He's very opinionated. Yeah. He doesn't care whether he upsets people or not. No. Surely that is going to go against him if this carries on, isn't it?
Yeah, he will. He'll get more and more grumpy. The questions will be coming at him thick and fast, saying, "Look, you know, you've been brought in to do the job. The job's not happening. What's gone wrong at Spurs? Why Spurs not doing it?" After a while, he's going to get the ump, and he's going to start being the Joes that go, "You saw the game. You saw the game," and that's what you'll get.
Then we've got 9 games left in the Premier League. I know, obviously, with all of this coronavirus problems, whether these games will go ahead or not. Yeah. Obviously, on Sunday we were meant to play Manchester United, and then on Friday we were meant to play West Ham. Those have both been postponed. Yep. Premier League football has been postponed until at least the 4th of April. If these 9 games do go ahead, whenever we play them, whether it be April, May, June, July. Yep. Are you confident that Tottenham will get a European place, i.e. Champions League or Europa League for next season?
Again, it's horrible. I'm more confident now than I was, say, a week or so ago. Only because the time that this suspension is going to give our players to come back from all their illnesses, from all their injuries.
Well, there's reports of Heung-min Son coming back to training next week.
Yeah, so that goes in our favour, but it's difficult to say that that's going to define our season. But yeah, so in answer to the question, I'm more confident now than I was a week ago because of what's going to happen.
Champions League or Europa League?
I can't see us getting Champions League unless everybody keeps playing as bad as they have been playing.
Would you rather a Europa League place rather than no football, European football at all next season?
That's a tough one, and that's the one that it's dividing a load of people on.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on that.
Yeah, definitely, because it could be, right, if you've got no Europa League, you've got no Champions League, so we've got no games to go out and we can concentrate on FA Cup, League Cup and the Premier League, right? We could even play the kids at the Carabao Cup and just concentrate on the FA Cup and the Premier League.
We need a League Cup as well.
I know, but if...
We need them all.
But if then we get nothing, then there's an issue. There has to be an issue because we've got no distraction. But we had no distraction a few years ago. When Martin Yole brought us into the Europa Cup. So we still didn't do it. We've been so close so many times, And it's just become going, oh, if we only had another couple of players. You think back at the players that we've had. If you could pick a Spurs top 11 out of all the players that we've had past and present, that would be a cracking team.
Yeah. We'll do that on another video. Right. If the season was to end today and we don't play any more Premier League games, who's your player of the season?
I think Sonny.
Yeah?
Yeah, still think Sonny. I think Hart, if a player would pair, you look at Sonny, Mora. If Mora had chipped in more goals, I think he'd be up there because he's got the speed. That kid does not stop running. He gives his all. When he comes off the pitch, he must go on a ventilator or something because he is done. He is properly toast. So yeah, I think it'll be Sonny.
Who's the most disappointing Spurs player this season?
Oh, and Ndombele without a shadow of a doubt.
Didn't even need to think about that one, did
you? No. I feel sorry for the kid because obviously he's still quite young. Yeah, he's still fresh to the Premier League. But I think what's happened is he's got this price tag. So you look at he's
I don't think it's about the price tag. When I saw that video, the Wolves game, where Wolves were on the attack and he just did not look like he was going to put a tackle in. No. And I've got some stats actually, which we'll put on another video. But Ndombele, his tackling in the Premier League is you would expect so much more.
Oh, you would. I would like, right, and if the Premier League just does restart, and the people who go, because you can't see it so much on the telly because it doesn't show the whole pitch, but the people who sort of attend the stadium, just watch him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just watch him for 5 minutes, and you'll see him stand in space, go, nah, give it to someone else. He points to all the other players to get...
Chelsea away, I saw that. I think Toby had the ball. Toby was just about to give him the ball, and he waved and pointed to someone else and said no. How can you not want the ball? Do
you know who he reminds me of? Adebayor. He reminds me a bit of Adebayor, who's got all that skill, but don't want to play.
Did you see that karate tackle from Adebayor a couple of days ago? Wow.
But he reminds me of him a bit because he's got so much ability, so much skill, but whether the heart's not in it, I don't know what it is.
Then lots of speculation about the likes of Harry Kane. Of course, he's another year older. Yeah. Not won any trophies at Tottenham, and this is what I feel for the fans. I feel for people like us who go to all the games.
Yeah.
But for the players who have been at the club for some years, people like Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Heung-min Son, Hugo Lloris, not winning any trophies at Tottenham during their Tottenham careers is just absolute madness. Now, would you blame any of these players if they left in the summer?
Right now, you wouldn't blame any Tottenham player for leaving. You just wouldn't, because, like I said before, the smiles are not there, the enthusiasm's not there. I mean, I'll hesitate to say that the pride's not there, because I think it is. I mean, a lot of the players, you can see, they play for the shirt. You look at Sonny, he's constantly sort of tugging the shirt. And Harry loves to win. But yeah, it's a results game.
Yeah.
You want to look back at your career and go, look, I played for this and I won this, this and this.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker, he went off. Mm-hmm. He gets a little bit of stick for some of the Spurs fans, but not a lot, because he was a good servant. He comes over to our side when he comes and plays, and he's always clapping. Aaron Lennon, always clapping the Spurs. That's what you want.
Let's take Kyle Walker. You brought him up.
Yep.
Great example. Left Spurs in the summer after the last season at White Hart Lane, 16-17 season. What was it? 6-8 months later, he wins the League Cup. Then the Premier League, and then trophy afterwards. Kieran Trippier's obviously left Spurs. Highly likely that he'll go on to win trophies at Atletico Madrid. Christian Eriksen's now left to Inter Milan. Yep. Highly likely he's going to go and win trophies. When Tottenham players like Harry Kane, Sonny, Lloris and so on see that these players do go and leave and then win trophies, if Tottenham don't get the investment that Mourinho needs, or any other manager that comes in, surely these players aren't going to be staying, are they?
Oh, of course they're not. I mean, someone like Harry...
It's frustrating.
Oh, it is. It's frustrating for us. So how much must it be for them? Frustrating that we've had the people, we've had the personnel to go on and do these things. I think Liverpool Champions League, we could have. It was again that was a dull game after what the both teams have put in. But for Harry, Yeah, I think his management would be telling and saying, look, Harry, you're not getting any younger. Do you want to do this? Do you want to stay with Trout and then pick that cup up and say, look, I've done it with my team?
Yeah.
Or do you want to say, well, this is what I've earned, this is what I've done, this is what I've earned? So, yeah.
Do you see the trophies coming anytime soon, and do you see Jose Mourinho being successful at Tottenham and lifting a trophy soon?
I hate to say it right now, no. I don't see where, unless the investment comes in, that we're going to change anything. Because he keeps saying we're going to bring it in from the academy, or we're going to go down to the lower leagues. You can do. I mean, Mitrovic, I'd have him in our team. I'd have Danny Ings. I'd look at a few of the players that possibly could go down from Tyrone Mings. I think he's decent. I've said it many a time. So there's players out there that we could bring in for not loads of money, but they're not going to be.
Will he be back though, Dean? Will Jose Mourinho be back in the summer? Will we have a very different squad come August?
I don't think it'll be too different. I think we'll lose it, but I think that some of the players will go, and will we replace them with players that are going to change us and take us forward? That's the issue. I think a lot of players are going.
Do you think that Jose Mourinho will be Tottenham manager this time next year?
No.
Really?
No, I really don't. If nothing changes, the fans are going to turn. It's already sort of in out and leave you out.
It's all well and good the fans turning though, but ultimately it's the board's decision. The board have made this drastic decision in getting rid of a real fan's favourite, and I was heavily criticised a couple of weeks ago when I was saying that I miss Pochettino and I would have preferred Pochettino into Mourinho.
Yeah.
But when Pochettino was fired, if I was to choose someone to come in, I actually said Jose Mourinho, purely for the fact that he is a serial winner, as you said, won trophies at every single club where he's gone to. That is why that Norwich game was hugely disappointing for me, because Michel Vorm in goal and a couple of other decisions in that game, hugely disappointing, because you think, well, get us over that line. That's what you're here for, isn't it?
Yeah, but you look at some of the decisions he's made. All the personnel, they're just moving around a lot. I mean, Jaffet, 1 minute is over on the right, which is, I think, this is his best position. Then he's in the middle. Then he's on the left. And then, okay, we'll have Toby. We'll put him over on the left. No, we'll stick him. It's strange. The players don't know their position because they're being moved about.
Well, I think under Mourinho, from what I can see, I think that most of the time 11 players are playing football and 11 players aren't playing as a team.
No, they're not. They're not. They're all trying to he's moving them about. Okay, you can go on the left. Then no, let's try you on the right. Let's try you as a false nine. Let's try you back in here. Let's try you bringing over to. They don't know where they're playing, so their confidence is not going to be there.
A lot of the Spurs fans, Dean, it is very mixed. It is a very mixed opinion. So please do give us your thoughts in the comment section below.
It's very emotive. It's very actually opinionated.
Some people are blaming the players.
Yeah.
Some people are blaming the manager. And some people are blaming the board.
Yeah.
Some people are blaming either two of those factors or even all three.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I'm seeing at the moment, Jose is not he can't be a bad manager, but I think he maybe a little bit disrespectful. He's a checkbook manager. He doesn't want to bring a kid that's on the fringes. He wants to bring in a name player and make an impact. And I can see that because it is, like I said to you, it's results football. Without that, you go further and further down. So you're not given that time that they used to be like years ago. If you don't make Champions League, you don't get this amount of money. If you don't make Europa League, you don't get this amount of money. If you're mid-table, you don't get the TV rights. Yeah. So it's one of those. It's all about. It is all about the money.
Yeah.
But you've got to also entertain the fans as well. So it's a tough one. Yes, Levy's built this superb place that we've got, and he has propelled us where we believe. Yeah, and that's the other thing about Spurs fans. We forgot we used to be mid-table. A lot of time we was mid-table.
Yeah, but
a cup team.
The last 4 seasons.
I know.
Pochettino's guided us to Champions League football. It is now Tottenham are an established Champions League team.
Yeah.
Finalists, 1st of June. That's why You know, in my opinion, in the summer, it was absolutely huge. We could have attracted, or we should have attracted,
it's ambition.
Any player in the world, in world football, certainly European football, because that was really putting Tottenham on the map. Champions League finalists. Even though we lost the game, we were there. Everyone would have been watching that game.
Yeah.
Everyone.
But that's the thing. Is it the players, or is it the club's ambition, or is it the club's ambition is being strangled by the amount of money we are allowed to pay? You're allowed to pay. I mean, Harry's being paid.
Yeah, but we've moved up a level. So if you move up a level, you need to move up the spending power.
The mentality.
You need to move up the wage structure.
Yeah.
You need to move up everything. If you're going to be one of the elite clubs where Tottenham want to be,
Yeah.
like you've said,
Is it
serial winner manager,
Yeah.
fantastic stadium, fantastic training facilities, all of that. You've got to go with that.
Yeah, but the people that are going with that is the board, i.e. Daniel and Joe. So if they're not saying, look, to do this we've got to spend this amount of money to get this amount of return, or if we spend this amount of money, we're still going to get this amount of return. So it is a lot of it is about the you know, the economics.
Well, it's another whole debate again, because it proves sometimes that if you go out and spend big money on the wrong players, like on Dombele, £65 million record signing, clearly hasn't worked out this season. Whether it will work out for him next season, or whether he won't even be at Tottenham next season under Mourinho is another thing. But the right players, if we're going to spend big, the right players need to be signed.
Well, yeah, well, you could have done. I mean, if you didn't spend the money on Dombele and Jetson, right, you could have bought in Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, but this is a whole different debate, because Jetson Fernandes or Bruno Fernandes, you know, we weren't going to be signing Bruno Fernandes. Mourinho even said that in a press conference. Tottenham aren't that type of team to go out and spend that money.
We should be that type of team.
That is exactly the signing that we should have had.
Yeah.
Some people could say that we got bargain bucket Fernandes and we didn't get the premium Fernandes.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that. You know, I've got nothing against Bruno Jetson Fernandes, but the quality is completely different.
Oh yeah, it is that. It's you can either swap up. It's like everybody else is shopping at like Waitrose and M&S, and we're going to Lidl.
Yeah.
It's not what you want.
Yeah.
It really isn't what you want.
Dean, this was meant to be a very quick 10-minute conversation. This has turned into over an hour. So as you can tell, me and Dean, you know, can speak for England about Tottenham, and I feel like we've rushed this as well. So do let us know all of your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you agree with what I've said or disagree with what I've said, whether you agree or disagree with what Dean has said. Let us know all of your thoughts in the comment section below, and hopefully the last 9 games of the Premier League will go ahead and this season will come to an end at some point, even if it is in the summer. It will be interesting, but stay safe and we will see you again soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs. Stay safe, guys and girls.